What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Setlist. Today, we're going to take a look at the Gretsch Electromatic Pristine Jet. So I'll kick us off with some specs. This guitar features a chambered mahogany body with a solid maple top. It has a mahogany neck, which Gretsch calls their thin U shape. It has a laurel fretboard with 22 medium jumbo frets, synthetic bone nut. Pickups are the FT5E Filtertrons. We have a Bigsby B50 trim with an adjust-o-matic bridge, 2 individual volume controls, 1 for each pickup, a master tone, and then also we have this global volume control with a treble bleed circuit, and of course your 3-way pickup selector switch. I'm going to run us through some tone samples so you can get an idea of how this thing sounds. For that, my signal chain, I'm going to be running directly into my Line 6 Helix, which is loaded with BadKat stellar captures from worship tutorials. And that'll be going into my Scarlett 2i2 interface and then directly into my DAW, which I'm using Reaper. And keep in mind, I haven't done anything in post, so everything you hear is exactly what I'm hearing in the room. So we're going to hit some dry signal directly from the amp, and then we're going to kick on some ambient stuff. So some wet effects like reverb and delay so you can hear how these pickups open up. And then, of course, we're going to hit some drive. So I've had this guitar for a little over a month now, and I've got to say I've really been enjoying it. The fit and finish of this guitar is just really nice. Gretsch did a really good job at putting this thing together. There's no sharp fret ends. All of the binding and everything. I couldn't find not one flaw in this guitar when I picked it up. The weight, because it's chambered. I mean, it's super comfortable to play, especially in a live setting. It's not going to weigh you down. It doesn't feel like a boat anchor. I love that it comes with the Bigsby, so you can add some texture to your chord voicings. The control layout is really nice because you can just dial in whatever tone you're really looking for. The pickups are what you would expect, from a lower end Filtertron. They're not too bright, they're not too warm. They retain a lot of clarity and note definition. Even when you hit them with a lot of drive, they don't get too muddy in the mix. And they have that mid-range presence that you would expect from a Filtertron style pickup. I've got to say, I've really enjoyed playing this. But there are a few things that I actually don't like about the guitar, and I'm going to hit those next. So the first thing is actually going to be the tuners. These tuners, feel really cheap. And it's a shame because this guitar, it comes in at about $759 US, and it really feels like every bit of a $1,500 guitar, if you ask me. But the tuners are the exception. So they feel really cheap, and they seem to be inconsistent from one to the next. So I will be swapping those out. I actually picked up a set of hip shot locking tuners. I'm going to swap those out with. The other thing is the Bigsby. I love the Bigsby, and I've seen this on a lot of Gretsch guitars, and a lot of guitars with Bigsbys in general. But the the trim arm seems to sit really high up off of the body, and that's just a personal preference thing. I don't really care for that, so I'll be swapping out the spring, to lower it down, just get it in more of a range where I like it, a little bit more parallel with the body. Uh, Another thing is Gretsch has put these strap buttons on, and I appreciate the effort because they kind of act like a locking tuner and they just thread on and off. But I have noticed in a live setting, if you don't put them on tight enough, they start to back off a little, and that just kind of defeats the purpose. And then if you wrench down on them too tight, it feels like it starts to screw the set screw back into the guitar, and then you risk stripping out the guitar, and that's just not optimal. So I'll definitely be putting on a set of my own strap locks. I like to use the Dunlop original strap locks. They work really well. And the last thing, the pickups. So the pickups are really nice for a stock guitar, right? Straight out of the box, they sound good. This guitar was set up really nice. Um, and you could definitely get a lot out of them. They're just not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not going to swap them out right now, so I'm just going to keep playing with them, and maybe I'll change my mind on that. But I am looking for something with a little bit more clarity, a little lower output, something that handles wet effects more. I'm mainly a worship player, so I'm usually stacking wet effects, and these definitely handle that really well. So I may be taking a look at swapping these out with either some Lambertrons or maybe even the higher end Gretsch Filtertrons, the high sensitivity Filtertrons that they put in the Pro Series and custom shop guitars. But other than that, I mean, this guitar, I mean, is great. It's a great value. Comes in under $800, and I couldn't be happier. Really, it does everything I want it to do and that I need it to do. Again, the things that I'm going to be swapping out, they're just really more personal preference. Gretsch did an amazing job with this guitar. The paint on this, I don't know if you can tell. I'll try to put up a shot, but it has a really fine metallic flake in the paint, and it looks beautiful in person. Like I said, there's no flaws. Feels great, sounds great, plays great. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, thank you.